learners. You are welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. I am your literature teacher, and today we'll be looking at another example of figure of speech as a technique or device. The last time it was the device of metaphor. Today it's another one that has been picked.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
Today, we'll be looking at an African poem written by Wole Soyinka. And what we'll be looking at in the poem is to examine the use of personification in the poem Night by Wole Soyinka. What we want to achieve in this lesson is students will read the poem, we'll be able to analyze the poem stanza by stanza, list the demand of the question, and answer the question, then learn new words. The new words that are really worth of checking is mercuric, taken from mercury. Mercury is reactive in nature to circumstances or situation. Exacerbation is an irritant being added in to make something bad or even worse. Incessant, continuing or following without interruption. Unbidden, when something happens without you expecting or wanting it to happen. All these we shall meet in the poem. The background of the poem is Night is a poem by an African writer, Wole Soyinka. Night is personified as if it is human, is giving an existential force to affect the mighty human, but yet night is just a mere phenomenon. Wole Soyinka has been able to present night as if it is oppressive and can suppress. So the analysis of the poem will bring about the comprehension of the poem so that we'll be able to pick the instances of the device, still on figure of speech, but now different from metaphor. Another one. Stanza 1. The suppression and oppression of night. Its appearance induces sleep, and man cannot resist. So the poem is written in 5 stanzas of three lines. So the first stanza actually portrays night as having that suppressive ability to suppress a human being. Suppress it to the point of sleep. So your hand is heavy. Night is giving that attribute, that quality of a human being that has hand. Night upon my brow. Night causes sleep. My brow is the area of my face. And so with the coming of night, it is just natural for me to feel sleepy. So it's actually saying that it does not have the power like a mercury to actually resist sleep, to resist the power of sleep on himself. It does not have that power, just like mercury. And the coming of that night even make it stronger, the feeling of sleep to become stronger. That is exacerbation from your subtle plow. So plow has to do with farming. So it's giving night that ability of a farmer to work on a land for cultivation. Woman as a clam on the season's crescent. So woman and clam. Clam is that organism on the seashore, that organism in a shell. So woman and clam, they are actually vulnerable. Clam are the mercy of adventurers who can pick them by the seashore. And woman being vulnerable in the society, in the hands of men and the society. So he actually is comparing himself to woman and clam. And the next one is trying to say that, it continues in the next stanza, that even all the activities on the seashore is controlled by night. By the time night appear, everything on the seashore too will be erased, will be extinguished. So he's saying that, I saw your jealous eyes quench the sea's fluorescence, the reflection on the sea as the moon appears. When night comes, all such will be erased. And I stood drained, submitting like a sand. And that is the powerful effect of night. Night drains him, just like when it rains and we are drained from head to toe. By the time night comes in, he submits. He cannot actually react. So he's painting the picture of total resignation when night comes. Submitting like sand, blood and brine, and coursing to the roots. Sands, blood, brine is salt water used by men. There is no way they will actually refuse to be used. And so he said that is what he is in the hands of night. Night, you raise serrated shadows. In the night, there are a lot of distorted images cast on leaves. That is one of the activity of night. Night has power to create images. Some branches will look as if something like ghosts is actually, it's appearing. So it has the power to bring distorted images on leaves till bath in warm suffusion of your drapple cell, until just like it brings about distorted images and it continues to spread. He said that is how the effect you have for me, when night comes, the sleep will come, and at a point in time, it takes over me completely. It takes over me completely. So, but he's saying that when you come, just like thief, who wouldn't have anyone to know is around that would do things stealthily. He said, when you come, just take control, just like that. Take control of him. When night's children haunts the heart, I must hear none. When we have the activities of the men of the underworld, things that are really scary happening in the night, don't let me hear of it. How will he do that? Take me completely in my sleep, so that I will not be conscious of any evil that may be happening in the night. This Mr. Cell is a metaphor representing the body. It's actually saying to say that this body, this Mr. Cell, adulterated cell already, that because night has come, will soon become unconscious. He said, undo me. This Mr. Cell will yet undo me. Very soon I will become unconscious, completely not knowing what is happening around me. Nakedness means actually not knowing, helpless. Once one has slept, what happened? You don't know what is happening around. So you wouldn't know what is happening because sleep has taken over completely. As night comes in, night muted bath. So as night is giving birth to, I am taking over completely by sleep. So sleep, night there is synonymous to sleep. At the entrance of night, naturally you feel like sleeping. And so Wole Soyinka has been able to paint the picture of a natural phenomenon, giving it a form and begin to address, and this is a form of ode. It's actually praising the power of night, even though it is not human. So, for the persona to imbue night with so much influence and power, he has to give it a form, just like the black woman. It must be an abstract or an idea must be given a form in order for it to be properly addressed. So that is why Wole Soyinka gives night a form, an existential form, and gives it the power to oppress and suppress. So personification is a major device. So in here, you agree that personification is the major device used here in order to appreciate the power of night over human being. And so we have a typical question. Examine the use of personification in the poem Night by Wole Soyinka. Night by Wole Soyinka is a new poem for the WAEC syllabus 2026 to 2030. So this is one of the poems that will be studied for the first time in the next section. So examine the use of personification. So when we look at the poem, the first stanza, we have your hand is heavy. So night is giving hand, and he has the ability to place his hand on the brow of a man so that he can sleep. So we have the first one there. Then exacerbation from your subtle plow is giving the ability, it is giving the form of a farmer that plows the land. So the working of night on the poet persona is as if he's walking on the ground, he's walking on the soil to plant. So the poet persona too is being worked upon by night to cause sleep. Then he said, I saw your jealous eye quench. Quench there gives the ability. So night has been given the ability to remove the sea light, which is fluorescent. Has been given the ability to remove every reflection of light on the sea wave. Then we have another one, night, you rain serrated shadows. Giving the attribute of God that rain, give rain to man. So night too is saying you rain serrated. That is, you actually bring about a lot of distorted images on the leaves in the night. And then we have another one. Okay, Sharit. Okay, so we have quite a lot of instances of personification in the poem. So we have demands of the question. These are what is expected in the write-up of a student that is answering such question. You start with the statement of the central theme. The central theme, there is every literary work normally have a central theme, under which other themes now evolve. So you start with the statement of the central theme or the subject matter, and that one will be in a way to summarize what the poem stands for. Then after that, there will be need for definition as a figure of speech, because the question actually dwells on figure of speech. So definition, we have said earlier that one of the ways to portray theme is figure of speech, devices and technique. One of it is figure of speech, and this is personification, and so it will help to project the theme, the central theme. So After definition, you pick 3 or 4 instances of personification in the poem. Then you begin to relate it to the theme, the appropriate theme here. We have the theme of suppression and oppression of the night. So when you begin to, when we have, for example, your hand is heavy, that is lending credence to the fact that night is very powerful to bring about sleep, and so it has the ability to take over completely the poet persona. So he has to resign to faith and surrender himself to the power of the night. So your hand is heavy, and that is portraying the theme of suppression. He said, I saw your jealous eyes quench, still continues with the theme of suppression and oppression. Yes, it quenches, and the sea does not have any power to query, so he has to submit. So you reign, night, you reigned, giving the power that, giving the form and image of God to night. So you relate the theme to the appropriate themes. Then lastly, make a concluding statement about the use of the device from all that has been said and your own view about the poem, The Night. You make your conclusion. So with this criteria, your paper will be marked, and you can be sure that you have a very good performance. Note, as you answer the question, make sure that your thought flows. They shouldn't be independent. It flows from central theme. It flows from central theme to portraying theme with devices. Then it goes to definition of personification as a device. Then pick instances. Then begin to relate those instances to the appropriate themes. So follow the model answer given in metaphor, given under the question metaphor, and you are good to go.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.
For comments or questions, contact us on the social media handles displayed on the screen. Thank you.